Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this next presentation here at ABG Investor Days. My name is Simon Granat. I work as an equity analyst at ABG, covering IT and tech companies. And with us today, we have the pleasure of hosting Ework, its CEO, Karin Schreil, and also CFO, Claes Reveil. We'll present the company for about 20 minutes, and then we will follow up with our regular Q&A session. So with that said, please go ahead and present.
Thank you so much, Simon. And my name is Karin Schreil, as you said, Simon. I'm the CEO at Ework Group. And I'm joined by Claes.
Hello.
Yes, Claes Reveil, our CFO. And thank you so much for the invitation to present here today. We will give a short update, as you said, about our company, our market, and why we believe that we have a very interesting position for the future. After that, we'll talk more about our trends and results. So, first of all, Ework Group. We are a market-leading total talent solutions provider. And we form successful collaborations. We connect our clients with the right professionals to enable our clients' digitalization, including emerging technologies such as, for instance, AI, green transition, and also strategic development. And our business revolves around the services that ensure the right expertise for important assignments at the right time, at the right place, and at the right conditions. And in doing so, we are accelerating the important development of our clients' businesses, growth, development, and performance. And our delivery does not rely on our own employees. We continually develop our extensive network of partners and professionals. It currently holds more than 105,000 professionals. And by providing the access to attractive assignments with our clients, we also contribute to our partners and professionals' personal development, their growth, and their potential. So, moving ahead. From our original role as a consultant broker, we are increasingly transitioning our company to becoming a strategic partner in total talent management. And this is an evolution where we join forces with our clients, our partners, and professionals. We act as the bridge to address the ever-changing need for skills and talent as a whole. And we also hold a strong position in a market that is driven by megatrends. Megatrends, if you look to the right, the future of business and society, where digitalization and the emerging technologies, green transition, are occurring at an increasingly rapid pace. On the other hand, to the left, we have the future of work trends and a growing desire by many to work under flexible conditions, have an independent work life with challenging and interesting tasks. And the whole economy as a whole, as well as the workforce market, is indeed becoming more global every day. And this is where Ework comes in. We run and we develop our business along a number of different dimensions to maximize the value that we provide to our stakeholders. You see to the left on the client side, we have a service portfolio that consists of 3 service lines. Consulting services, meaning that we provide actual consultants to our clients in the areas where skills are needed. The managed services, which is about outsourcing the task of finding the skills and the talent to Ework. And that's a strong trend in our industry, that more and more clients, companies, and organizations outsource the work to find the right skills and the right talent. And finally, financial services that we add on to consulting services and managed services to provide the best possible conditions for financial performance with our clients. And we have 5 main markets where we operate. Sweden is the biggest, that's our home market. Norway, Poland, Denmark, and Finland. And we operate across a big, broad base of industries. From consulting, tech and telecom, which is, of course, an industry and a segment where a lot of skills are needed in tech and development. Manufacturing, automotive, life science, strong development driven by megatrends related to the green transition, electrification, and autonomy. Banking, financial services, a lot of skills needed for the digital transformation. Energy, utilities, and natural resources, where again, the green transformation comes in as a big driver. Retail, logistics, and services also undergoing major transformation towards digital retail and the logistics that comes with it. And finally, public sector operations, where a lot of skills are needed to be able to transform their operations to the future needs. To the left, we have the partner and professionals and the services that we provide to them. We have a member program that is aimed for the members of our network. The professionals and consultants on assignment, they have access to something we call Ework services, where we provide them with all the support and administration that they need to be able to focus on their assignments. And we have a Pay Express financial solution, which allows them to get paid for the work they do when they need in a timely way. We have today a network that consists of, as I said, more than 105,000 consultants across 50 countries in Europe and Asia mainly. And we have a number of skills represented in this network. Some of them are listed here, and we group them into skill practices, such as, for instance, project management and business development, digitalization, automation. We have a lot of system developers in various technologies. We have data scientists and analysts, and we see an increasing and growing demand for skills in this field. We have IT infrastructure and technologies, and last but not least, engineering, which is an area where the needs are indeed increasing. Again, related to the mega drivers, to the green transformation, to the digitalization. In Q1, we delivered and presented our results, and were able to report that the demand for professionals varied during the quarter. Some of our clients, particularly in the retail and telecom sectors, showed some hesitation, with fewer new assignment requests coming into us. However, we still see a high demand for skills with other clients in other industries, such as public sector, manufacturing, automotive, with, again, the latter one having major needs for skills to be able to drive their transformation. From a geographical point of view, there were also differences. We saw in Poland, once again, strong growth, very much driven by the need in the telecom and technology sectors. Overall, in total, we observed a decrease in the number of new assignment requests during the first quarter. But again, we also saw a very high and increasing demands with some of our clients. At the beginning of this year, the Norwegian Parliament adopted updated labour legislation, and that has caused some hesitation in the Norwegian market. We are working our way around and through and with this, together with our clients, and we still see some hesitation, but we are confident that we will be able to find the appropriate way of supporting organizations also in Norway with the skills they need for their transformation. We saw in the first quarter the positive effects from the broader client base. And the broader client base is due to the fact that we won last year a number of new frame agreements in public sector as well as in private sector. We were also happy to see that we got renewed trust and a new number of extended frame agreements with some of our largest clients. And that again contributed to the broader client base and the growing number of consultants on assignment. We also saw in the first quarter an increasing demand and interest in our financial services solutions in Pay Express that I mentioned before, and also the other services aimed for partners and professionals. We saw a fast-growing demand for our protective security services, which is services where we do background checks for consultants and personnel. That is growing rapidly, and we were actually able to close a separate contract with one of our larger clients to deliver these services in the first quarter. So it was also interesting to see, as I said before, that the development was slightly varying between the industries. We saw the demand for remote assignments outside of our main markets being really high, and in particular across the private sectors. Here you see the trends that I mentioned before, with the public sector, manufacturing, automotive industries still in need for a lot of skills and talent, whereas in retail, logistics and services, and also telecom, we saw a slightly different pattern in the first quarter. This is the distribution of skills during the first quarter in the assignments. As you can see, majority of the consultants that we provide are in the area of system development, product management, and business development. Engineering, as I mentioned before, is growing in numbers, and consultants in IT infrastructure and data management. Also good and high demand, and in particular in data management, analytics, and AI, we see an increasing demand. I mentioned also before, Poland had a good development, continued to have a good development in the first quarter. That goes also for Denmark, where our managed services offering is really taking off and driving the growth and development in the market for us. So with this, I'd like to hand over to Claes, who will take you through some of the trends and performance details.
Yeah, we
switch places. Yeah. Yes.
Good. Wait. All right. Thank you, Karin. Yes. First, for those of you who don't know Ework and follow us every day, I can say that we had a very strong 2022. Demand was high from all of our industry sectors at the same time. So we worked hard to respond to that. We made new wins, new client wins, and we also increased our client shares with many of our largest accounts. So that was a strong year. Therefore, also our order intake grew with 16% last year, year on year. Our revenue with a full 22%, and operating profit with the whole 44%. So we were very proud of that performance. Looking into last quarter, quarter one, we saw an order intake increase of 4%. And that's comparing to a very high reference number post-pandemic, where the demand was really booming. So it's of course satisfactory to see that our total new contracts signed in the period increased compared to that same reference point with 3%. That was good. We also saw a positive effect on order intake growth from price increases. But just as Karin said, we could also note a more diverse market, and in sections then more hesitant. You mentioned both retail, telecom as those, whereas we saw very strong demand and increasing demand from other sectors, such as the public sector, where we had order intake growth of a full 21% in the first quarter. The demand from our automotive clients also remained on a very, very high level, just as it was during 2022. This development translates into changes in business volumes, where our ending balance for active assignments landed on 13,158. That is 9% higher than it was the same period last year. Whereas it was a decline during the quarter of 1.4%. And that should be compared to the increase we had in the same period of 2022. So some changes in the pace and the business volumes for us in total. Looking at the P&L, our revenue grew in the first quarter with 16%. And that was entirely driven by increased business volumes, translated into increased number of hours invoiced to our clients. We had no material effect from price increases in the revenue growth in that particular period. So that's entirely organic, volume-driven growth that we could demonstrate in the quarter. Our operating profit that grew with 14%, landing on 54 million for that quarter. Very much in line with expectation. The drivers for the profit increase being the same volume growth, for sure, supported also by what we all have reported previously, increased profitability through sales and incremental growth of our add-on services, being, for example, Ework services and Pay Express. So we are pleased to see that. The cost level in 2022, when we entered that year, was on a quite anorectic, very low level, non-sustainable. So in line with our expectation then, we did not see and could not report the same level of scaling on cost, as well as operating margin increase that we could do last year. But that was expected, but obviously then not meeting fully the targets we set out for ourselves. So that was a little bit of our overall financial performance. In line with strategy and market focus, we have divided our operations in two main segments, being Market Unit Sweden and Market Unit Northern Central Europe. They are then in turn divided into 4 market units each. And we can just update you on how we performed in these different parts. For Market Unit Sweden, our order intake was flat compared to last year in the first quarter, whereas our net sales grew with 15% and our profit improved with a full 23% to 75 million. We saw definitely a difference and unbalanced development from different clients in Sweden, ending us in this development. And the focus here for us in Sweden last quarter was to allocate our resources when the demand was still high. For Market Units Northern and Central Europe, our order intake was up 15%, net sales and profit up 21%. We had strong performance and high relative growth for all market units excluding Norway, which was mainly unchanged compared to last year. Here, the focus is very much in this geography on increased collaboration, on market opportunities, shared clients, where we see several opportunities for us to develop cross-border. So that's a little bit our market segments. The financial targets we communicated earlier this year are 2, being that we aim to grow our earnings per share annually of at least 30%, and that we will also distribute dividends of 75% as a minimum of the net profit. And how will we achieve this? Well, we aim to achieve this by growing faster than the market, at a higher pace than the market in general, and also improving gradually our operating margin. To do this, there's a few things that will be very important for us. As a service provider, being even more focused on increasing stakeholder value, clients, partners, and professionals, obviously our shareholders. We will continue to develop our service portfolio and the solutions and the offerings to our clients therein. Strengthening collaborations in both parts of the value chain that Karin explained that we are working in. Increasing sales to our existing clients, very important, but also expanding our network. We aim to win within our client industries, new clients to Ework. We want to explore new markets and expand our market share. Scaling will be very important also going forward. Efficiency in our service delivery is something we're focused on, as well as securing that our costs are growing less than our revenue. Simple mathematics there. And then the question is, did we do anything good in the last quarter? And we think we did. In terms of service development then, being important for us, we launched and now can offer full outsourcing on recruitment process. We also launched an educational portal with lexicon for our professionals. In terms of the client focus, we made an important step, outlining now 6 prioritized client industries that we want to grow in this to drive internal learnings, but also client value. Market expansion. We outlined the strategy, and we are also all the time certifying new countries where we can source from and deliver to. And in terms of the scaling, we made some important steps in how we run our platform. Yes, so that's basically what we did. Shortly then, Ework as an investment. Why should one invest money in the company? Well, we feel that at the core of this, we have a strong position in a dynamic market with a dynamic business model that is supported by some global trends. We call them future work, future business, but it's really helping us to deliver. But we need to do this in a good way, and building on that, we feel that we already now have a structural platform and base with our over 13,000 active assignments that we run on our digital platform, Verama, that we continue to invest in, but with that we can still realize a lot of value from. Our comprehensive service portfolio and our offering is something that we're still tapping into, and we feel that we, in many cases, can provide more value from to our stakeholders. Our strong client base, fantastic list of clients we have, and the relationship that are growing with them over time, all the time. We have the largest network, and it's growing, and we aim to grow it a lot more. So that's all the time the fundament of our business. Scalability in terms of the business volumes we have gained and aim to gain further provides new opportunities for profit improvement. And then we have the power to expand and make important steps. So basically that summarizes why we should be an attractive investment. Yeah.
Good.
You, Karin, sum it up?
Yeah, I think we're ready to sum it up, Simon. We can maybe have this slide in the background while we do so. This is the message we also shared when we presented the first quarter results. We summarized a strong quarter, as said before, and we are now confirming an unchanged outlook for 2023. Expecting to grow faster than the market, as we say, and increase our operating margin. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll have time for just 1 or 2 questions, as we are running a quite tight time schedule here today. But thank you so much for the presentation and the stock pitch in the end. And I think that one word that I've taken with me, also following the company for about a bunch of years, but also today, is the network effects. And we could clearly see them in 2020 as the market turned a little bit more sour. How do you view the network effects as we now see a more diversified demand situation, as you point out during the presentation here in 2023?
Yeah, so I can maybe start off, Claes. So looking first of all at our own network, as I mentioned, very important, and one of our main assets is the big network. It's been built over 20 years since the beginning of our company in 2000. And gradually, organically, we have added in new skills and new talent to that network. And we aim to not just have the biggest network, but also the best network, the most relevant network, tapping into the needs of our clients. And of course, it's also equally important for us to be part of our clients' networks. And that's one reason why we want to be more focused on industries going forward, so that we can tap into the big trends of each industry. and be a good player for our clients and their networks in their turn.
Great. And then just one final thing, and that's relating to the fact that Ework has historically been an organic story, but we now see that there are more contenders out in the market. They are much smaller than you are, but there are certainly more players in the market.
Sure.
How do you view M&A and the opportunities relating to that?
So clearly we have an organic agenda that's supporting our ambition, long-term and short-term ambitions. But of course, that is a trend in the market. So with that said, of course, we are looking at those trends and seeing if there is anything in this for us. But our history is organic, and we have good faith and trust in the continued organic growth of our company, even so.
I believe so too. I think that summarizes this session. Yes. Thank you so much for attending here today, and thank you all the rest as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.